Hi guys, so I'm actually tired. Welcome to my channel. I'm actually tired, but I just decided to do this video. This is a kind of chill video that I'm doing. I'm just back from work and tired looking, scrappy, spent, worn out. What else? Borrow me words. But something just caught my attention about some norms. We talked about norms here in Canada and the things that the way people actually behave. So let's just catch up instead of the regular sit down talk and all those kind of gist. We've been going around a lot, and the weather has been good for us, so we've been going around, and I'm sure I've shown you a bit of some things around the city. And little by little we're going into fall, then we'll actually get into winter. And this just makes me, or reminds me really, about the way we do icebreakers, even at work, generally in places that we find ourselves, and people just start with small talks. And small talks could be the weather most of the time, really. And because Canada has given us 4 seasons, 4 reasons to speak about the weather, and we begin to just share general things. How was the weather today? Did you enjoy the rain last night? Because it rained actually. The weather has changed a bit, but it's still hot. In Saskatoon, we are always having sunlight, irrespective of the season that comes our way. So we always will have sunlight. And it rained overnight into the morning all day, and the rain is not my country rain. No, it's drizzling, but they call it rain, so it's not heavy really. You won't really get wet in it, but it is rain. And that actually brought down the temperature. It was a bit cold. Even me, look at how I'm dressed. Even me, I have to wear something a bit, The weather actually, it's a good talking point. It's a good place to start conversation or small talks. And even at work, it's a good place to start. So I just hear people a lot talking about the weather. It will not end. It is continuous. And people just want to use that to connect. So when you find somebody in the bus, on the road, in your place of work, in the grocery store, wherever you find human beings and someone who wants to connect with you, they start with small talks and just ask you a few questions. And if you do as if you are not interested, they will walk away because they know that this person is not ready for any gist. But if you're actually ready, which sometimes is good to be able to talk to other people, and that helps the conversation, and you really enjoy those conversations. And it's also a way to connect. You never know who the person is. You don't know how those connections can be meaningful to you. So please don't close up. Let's be open-minded. Let's connect with people. And it doesn't matter even if it doesn't go beyond that sport. At least you had somebody to communicate with or stay up a conversation with, so that you are not just bored on the spot and just enjoying the weather that is cold or too hot. But here in Saskatoon, we always have sunlight all year round. In fact, all year round, I would say, because the weather, the sunlight is continuous. Even in the winter, we always have sunlight. It might not dry your clothes, it might not make you sweat, but there's sunlight. There's sunlight, and that's so helpful. That's so it just helps to alleviate the mood of what the winter really brings away, which sometimes it doesn't help us in that winter season. But another thing I wanted to talk about is that Canadians are too apologetic. They can apologize for anything, really. Small things. You miss this, oh sorry, you miss it. We too, we do it a lot in our country, little things. And then I know that initially when we just landed, and I was talking about some of these differences that I experience or that I see between my country, Nigeria, and Canada, and they were like, oh, you guys do apologize a lot. Why would you say sorry for, you know, somebody wants to fall down, you're saying sorry. Somebody, you know, just irrelevant things really, but we're just used to sorry, even though it is not like we mean it. That's the truth. Sometimes you just say it, you know, when you're used to some kind of words that you use, it just comes out of you without you thinking. So that's the way I see it. But Canadians are really apologetic for almost everything. So these are part of the things that you will learn when you're coming this way, when you're going to be relating with other people, when you're going to be, you know, just having work relations or even general friendship with other people. So those are the things that you will experience, and it's just an icebreaker. So enjoy small talks. It's never too much. Talk about the weather, talk about your life, talk about your kids. In fact, some little things that you see around would initiate those small talks. So feel free to start those conversations and take it up from there. So these are just things that you find so something else that I also noticed is that Canadians can queue. They can queue up. You know, they are not in a hurry. Well, I know people can have timing, but I just realized that Canadians can queue up when they have things to do. You know, they're at the bank or they're at the grocery store. You know, they don't jump queues like some people do. General things, you see them queue up, as in they queue up until it's their turn. But I know that some people, you know yourself, I don't want to mention names, you can queue up in 2 places at the same time, true or false. And you see that, or you find it's a show, but you tell the person that I am on this queue, I just want to quickly go and get something there. Meanwhile, you're trying to use one human being to be on 2 spots. Then you go and come back, and whoever you have held your spot with has gone or is not there. And then you jump into the line, and the person behind you is asking you, hello, where are you coming from? Go and queue up at the back. And you're like, I've been here, I just quickly went there for over 30 minutes or over 45 minutes. How about take it easy? In Canada, we don't do like that too. So if you are here, stay here for 30 minutes and go and stand another queue for another 30 or 40 minutes. That is respect for other people. So you must understand this. There's queue, you have to queue up, you have to maintain good line to be able to do things. So don't jump the queue. Don't feel that they are wasting your time. No, they are wasting. Canadians have respect for time, and that's another thing I want to talk about. When you're booking appointments, don't be late. Don't even try and be late. In fact, if you come late, because when they book you for 15 minutes, there's another person at the beginning of the next 15 minutes that is going to be scheduled for a meeting or an appointment or anything really. So if you come late, you've missed that spot. You have to find another time, and God help you, everybody has picked that spot or picked subsequent scheduling points. You have to schedule again. So there's no big man in Canada. There's no we give them something to give me a better spot. No, that doesn't happen here. So if you look at doing that, coming here, that is not in fact, Canada is not a place for you. Really, it's not a place for you. And I want to encourage everybody, you know, it's just respect for everybody's time, respect, and be mindful of other people. So when you're given a time, it's like people still do these things. Come to this place at 10 o'clock. They are just like, maybe for parties, really, people come late. At that 10, some people are just rounding up what they are doing in their homes and getting dressed, and you know, no. When a party starts at 10, they are saying come at 10, we are starting at 10, not 10 because we have an African time setting. No, let's leave African's timing behind us when we are moving to Canada. It won't work here because you will now be conflicting with 2 different cultures. It will not work. So you have to tell yourself, do I still want to live in Canada and still be an African timer? Or I want to live in the Canadian cultural space? So you have to pick one. So time is very essential to Canadians. And when I say Canadians, I'm talking about really people that have lived here for a while. If you have lived here between, in fact, from 3 years or 4 years Honestly, you are imbibing some subtle culture. Whether you feel that your culture in your father's land is very strong, this one that you're even taking from here is, in fact, it's taking a better part of you, because you see people do things. That's why it's easy for our children to pick up, you know, the way they speak or the way they behave. You see them saying some stuff and I'm like, Auntie Bawudemi, what is this one? Please, if you want to speak it in your school. When you come home, speak what I can hear. Because their tongue starts twisting. They begin to speak, and then you find it difficult, especially when they're really small. It's difficult for parents, and parents are like, sometimes they can't hear what their children are saying. But that it is. For adults, it might be a bit tough, because we have already, you know, grown and we are made into the kind of culture or the way we speak and things like that. But you know, sometimes we still twist when we have to communicate with people that have, you know, the other tongue, and then we switch back again. So we need to respect, you know, timing for everything that we do, and just be mindful of ourselves. Just take note of the things that you do. Be observant, because you will see people do things, and sometimes it just bleeds your heart, because, you know, people come from, I know of my country people, Nigeria, and I see some things that people do here. Sometimes I just wonder why. But the truth is, we just need to be able to, you know, merge those two cultures. I'm not saying throw away your culture, but see how both cultures can work together in such a way that you are not totally an alien here, and you have not lost what you brought from your own country. Yeah. So we're just gisting, guys. We're just gisting, just a chill. I'm just back from work, like I said, and just tired. Nobody's at home, so the home is mine, and I can gist and scream. I made a father yesterday, in fact, for almost 2 days or 3 days right now. I've been trying to make a father still, but that's one thing I've made. So like, we know that school is about to start for our children that are resuming in September. School is about to start, and this is just asking you parents, have you started your back to school shopping for the children? Yes, we don't pay school fees here, but you have to buy some things for your children, you know. Everything is not absolutely free. And then in some schools too, you have to pay some admin fees, you know, for some things that they're going to give to them in their schools. But aside that, it's nothing that breaks the bank really, but it's just for the school to be able to help us. So when they ask you to go and bring maybe $100, I think it shouldn't be more than that really. Don't say, but they told us Canada is free education. You're not paying school fees now. So $100, if you are paying $100, is not, and whatever you pay for, even for your stationaries, because they will give you a list, and you have to go shop for the things to bring back to school for your children. Those things, trust me, you are going to be going back home with it at the end of the session, because if you have anything left from your children's items that they bring from school, they are going to be going home with it. Nobody goes home with your things. Nobody holds it and say, I should be, you have brought it, buy another one. No, if it's remaining, your children will bring it back home, and that's the beauty of this place. So prepare, buy things, just be considerate of things. Things are expensive here. It's not only in Nigeria. Things are expensive even in Canada. Buying groceries is not cheap. Oh my God, I even feel so much for people that are landing newly. I don't know where they want to start from. The exchange rate is really bad, and even if they now begin to exchange their currency to Canadian currency, it's so small. And then rent, guys. It's just that there's no under bridge here in Canada that people can sleep. You can't come from your country with a permanent residence or student visa and say you want to sleep on the bridge, under the bridge, but there's no bridge really that you can sleep, and the weather will not let you. So accommodation is a problem. Honestly, it's a problem. There's constant rise for people looking for accommodation, and because I see that a lot of immigrants are landing, so many people are landing. Honestly, I see new faces every time. and you just hear, I just landed last week, or you know, here and there, and people are landing, and there's really no commensurate increase in construction homes, and the ones that they are cut truth. They are too expensive right now. An average 3-bedroom goes between 1.7 to 2,000 ish, and when I say 1.7, is even moderate, and it depends on where. If you're going to the west, or if you have an apartment, there are still some. In fact, those that are actually 1.5 ish, in fact, if people leave that home, the next rent will jump up. That's a reality, because things are really expensive, and they just want people that can pay their rents, really. So if you're coming, please, your POF is actually meant to be able to secure you for that much of 3 to whatever months, in case you don't find a job easily, and you have to pay your rent. And right now, property companies are putting eye inside your POF. So if you are going to be renting, they want to see that you have 12 months POF, or cost of the rent for 12 months. They are not collecting it though, but they want to see it that you have it in your bank account, even if it's your currency back at home, and you want to rent. For those that are reaching out to me and they want to rent from home, those are the requirements. I've said that to you severally. If you don't have it, go and sell house. So go and sell all your landed property that you have. Go and sell and just put money in your bank account. If you don't have it, it's difficult for you, except you have family here that is already working, that can stand as a guarantor or a co-signer for you. Then you'll be able to get those accommodation. They don't require them to have 12 months in account, but you know, they have employment letter. They can show that they are gainfully employed and they are being paid salary. So those ones are able to be able to stand for you. But if you don't have somebody like that, then you must have your money in your pocket, in your bank account, and they want to see 12 months. So if you're a family of 3, I shared in my last video the POF commensurate with the number of family sizes. So check it out. I'll try and put it on the screen again. This is important for you because you need to. There's no guarantee that when you come you will get job immediately. It works for some, it doesn't work for some. It doesn't mean they have their heads, no, but you just have to weigh your options and have, you know, that shock absorber in a way that helps you to still stay afloat while you're job hunting, and you are able to pay your rent, you are able to still feed, you are able to, you know, live life without, you know, being anxious about no income. I know there's still anxiety, but at least you know that you have money to pay for your rent and, you know, all other living expenses. So it's important. But if you are currently here in Canada, you're changing house, you know, that one is easy. Just give them your employment letter, offer letter. They need maybe your bank account. They want to see some IDs, and that is fine, that you can afford it. They look at it, you fill some forms. It's not a guarantee that you get the homes, because sometimes too, you're not the only one looking. In fact, the rates at which people are looking for homes, I am scared, and I don't know how far the construction company need to go, in fact, double their construction, and cost of rent has to go down. I really don't know how this can happen, but it has to happen because it is crazy. It's not commensurate to what people are earning. It's not as if people are earning so much. People are for some roles, right? But especially for newcomers, they just want to do anything. They want income to come in, and they don't really get those juicy jobs from the start. Sometimes it's not, I'm not saying this to scare you, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. Some people do. So you just want to be able to balance your expectation, I would say, so that when these things done on you, reality, you are not in shock. So I'm tired, just back from work, and just thought to catch up for this video. And if you have questions about, you know, landing, I've talked about my ebook, and you have to buy it because it will help you to navigate settlement. Honestly, there's so many things associated with that ebook. There are links to access some immigrant services. In fact, some people don't know some things because they are not here. And if you feel $25.75 is too much for you to pay, then you probably lose on some benefits that you need to get because of that small money. So don't be penny wise pound foolish, or don't be penny wise dollar foolish, Canadian dollars foolish. Please do the needful. Buy what will cause you to be free, to know what is expected of you. I can't say with my mouth to everybody, and that's why I put it in an ebook. There are links, there are addresses, there are phone numbers, there are forms that you need to fill. There's everything that you need, even to landing. In fact, pre-landing, the things that you need to sort out before you land. Then when you land, from your first week, the things that you need to check. Because sometimes some people just forget, they just feel they've come, let me just relax. Don't relax, so you have not come on vacation. So the things that they need to do from week to week, I put it there, and how to also check your progress. So do it. It's for your own good. Buy the ebook, and if you need accommodation, I can help you get accommodation, but it's at a cost. It is not free. So those of you that are reaching out, this is the service I render. If you need my service, you have to pay for it. So if you need to speak with me, book a meeting with me, you can send me an email, or you can actually DM me on my Instagram handle. So I can respond to you based on your initial request and direct you accordingly to what to do. So please follow those prompts. It is not quarrel. It is to help our mutual good. So please, let's do what is needful, and then you'll find it easy to be able to navigate the things that you will need. I'm not saying if you don't buy it, you won't have, Canada settlement. The steps that you should have settled, we would have been doing it later, and that's also time and things lost. So it's just to be able to crunch that time for you. I also help with settlements based on accommodation. So I can help you find accommodation at a cost. I can help you set it up. So I have startup plans for new immigrants. I've said that over and over again. So this is just me trying to be lazy about everything I've talked about and just pouring it out there and letting you know that you can always get that. If you reach out to me, I will let you know. Depends on the kind of accommodation we find for you. We have the student package, we have the classic, the premium, that we can help you set up based on the size of your space, right? So we can do this. We can help. Canada here, everything, but there's dollar attached to everything, every hour, everything. So there's no free, my brother, my sister. We can be helpful to ourselves, but look, you can't. It's like you're going to work and you're not getting paid. It is not a free call. This is not a free consultation. So if you need my help, you have to pay for it. Then I can help you and be able to devote time to be able to assist you. Right. What other thing? So reach out to me, guys. Reach out to me. I've been able to help a few people that have reached out. I have people landing at different times that I'm finding accommodation for. We can do airport pickup. What else? We can, help set up your home, like I mentioned, and other things that you need really when you immediately land. And based on the home location, whether you want the east, the west, the north, the prices vary. So you must also bear that in mind. If you want somewhere in the east, then you'll probably be paying a premium. West is a bit on the medium side. I won't say low, because there's nothing that is cheap, but this is just FYI for you as you're landing. People just want people to do things for them for free, but look, every time it is money here in Canada. That's the truth. And until you land, so many people that feel offended, that people that have landed, your friend, your family, they have ignored you, or they have forgotten you, or they are not responding to you. Immediately they landed and they begin to see with their eyes. They now realize that it's not the way I say. So if you don't understand, you don't understand. We can't explain to so many people, you're back from work. Is it the time for you to be chatting and calling your country people? Or time difference is not even in favor. When you are waking up there in the afternoon for Nigeria, for instance, or if you are in Ghana also, and is it the time that you want to use to get ready for work? If you are an 8 to 5 work schedule type of person, to now start gisting with friends or family, that won't work. And when you're closed, they are in bed. So the only time will be weekend, or maybe you have a day off, and you have to plan that conversation. Or you can text or chat, and you can just pick something up, or maybe in the night when you can't sleep, then you probably will catch up with those family and stuff. So that's the way it is. It's not easy. We have so many things that don't work in favor, time difference and all of that. So you need to also live in understanding of this, and when you come, you see that it is really not a bed of roses. In fact, people are toiling and toiling to be able to make $1 here in Canada. It is not easy. It is not easy. So please reach out to me if you need help. Send me an email, send me a DM on my Instagram handle. This is just a chit chat, and I'll catch you up later, guys. Bye.